Bienvenue, les aventures de Frank et Ben. Quatrième série, Frank and Ben go to a pool party at Genevieve's place. 16e histoire, Frank and Ben go to a pool party, part 16. What a splendid time Frank and Ben have at Genevieve's place, playing volleyball with Big Bob, Genevieve, Minot, and Greg. And with Big Bob always acting up and making everyone laugh, and Greg Downeyhue always chirping away and not even minding it when Genevieve tells him he sounds like a tropical bird. What friendliness and conviviality amongst all these young people, who each and every one are good-hearted souls, having one of those great times in life where everything is congenial and without blemish. A cloudless sky, tall green trees barely touched by a breeze, a beautiful black and brown dog who, although he runs excitedly about the pool, never barks except when someone tries to splash him. All this and more keep Frank and Ben's spirits at the highest level, and even when Big Bob's growling stomach finally sends Minot and Genevieve out of the pool to help Linda get things ready for the barbecue on the patio, they continue to jump and dive and swim around like little boys having the time of their lives. But this is not all of their pleasure and amusement, for as luck would have it, the Dewey sisters return. And oh, what splendid timing! For just before they show up wearing identical bathing suits that make Frank and Ben gasp almost as much as they did when they saw for the first time how indistinguishable Judy is from Jody and Jody from Judy, Big Bob, in order to prove to the boys that he wouldn't be afraid to play a real game of strip tag, and not simply the one he described to them earlier, in which everyone would have to wear a ridiculous and cumbersome outfit, takes off his trunks and dives into the pool naked. What amusement it causes! Is there never an end to Big Bob's pranks? The next thing he does is invite the Dewey sisters to join him in the pool. However, even though they're both good sports, they decide to forego this pleasure and heed Genevieve's call when she wants them to meet another neighbor who happens to have just dropped over. This person is rather special in that she's one of the daughters of a rich sheik who owns the biggest house on the street, and so far has kept, or at least seems to have kept, all the members of his family under lock and key. While Big Bob and Frank cavort in the pool, by now the boys have followed his example and taken off their trunks, Genevieve introduces Judy and Jody to Farida Ben Abdullah, a distinguished-looking young woman with olive skin, a free and easy manner, and an obvious acquaintance with a world much larger than, based upon all that has been rumored about the sheik and his family, one might expect. So enraptured do Judy and Jody become with this new person that they forget to report to Genevieve that Bob is swimming in the pool naked. But after Farida Ben Abdullah has explained to them why she is making this visit, and even gone so far as to tell them a little about her studies overseas and her emancipation from her conservative but indulgent father, who, along with allowing her to become a doctor, has deigned to let her learn the art of falconry, all eyes turn towards the pool as soon as Greg, coming out of the house with a bag of briquettes that he had to buy at the local grocery store because Linda had overlooked this item, notices that Genevieve's Doberman is splashing about in the pool, and this is quite an amazing thing, overcome completely his fear of water. It is at this point that the Dewey sisters tell Genevieve what else is going on in the pool, and without wasting a moment, she runs into the house to get her camera. It is also at this point that, to the great disappointment of the sisters, Frida Ben Abdullah remembers some urgent task she must attend to. With profuse apologies and excuses, she hurriedly gets up from her chair and at the same time promises the sisters she'll explain to them on some other occasion how she broke new ground for women in Saudi Arabia. Later, when Frank and Ben are driving back to Perkins, it's with the feeling that they've just had the best day of their lives. "Oh, if only life could always be like this," Frank says to Ben. "It would be like a dream from which you'd never want to wake up." After Ben agrees with him wholeheartedly, the boys exchange a few more remarks about how wonderful a person Genevieve is, and how hilarious it was when she took all the photos of them swimming in the pool naked, and with Bob even going so far as to climb out of it and let Genevieve take more photos of him while he toweled himself. Then, lapsing into a lengthy silence, each boy is content to think his own thoughts and wonder what adventures lie ahead.